What is happening, everybody? I'm Jack McAdoo, and I have a podcast. What is happening, everybody? I'm Jack McAdoo. I am the host of your podcast, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. This is one of those shows that I get as real as I can be, and most people that know me throughout the years through my poker podcast, Poker Pod Radio from way back, and then my show Real Talk Live, I'm pretty real, and I don't hold back really anything. And I guess that's kind of what this show is today. Normally I have a topic or I would have a guest, but, I just wanted to be real today. I'm trying to navigate the ship, so to speak, in life and my show and what I do outside of my show. For people, we all go through it. We all change up a little bit in what we do, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in entertainment and or media. You're always trying to step up your game for yourself, first of all, and second, of how the audience, fans, whatever, can benefit by it, how you can increase the listener or the viewer. And that's kind of where I'm at today. In my personal life, there's things that I work through that I try to bring into the show life, but keeping things separate. And, I discuss things with certain people that are close to me, excuse me, and friends as well. Sorry about that. But I think right now, with how fast things are moving, it can become very, very difficult. Excuse me. And that's what I'm trying to navigate. I was talking to someone yesterday and the day before. We were talking about podcasting. We were talking about numbers. And I get that all the time because I was very proud, and still am, to say that this show, with my show, Real Talk Live, and with Poker Pod Radio, my website, jackmcadoo.com, is certified, Alexa certified, at about 2.5 million viewers to the site each and every month, meaning about 100,000 eyes on the website per month. How many of those are unique? Right around 40,000 unique, being new. And I've been able to carry that. And it's a good thing. And people will tend to look at me like, really? And I say, yeah, that's what it is. It's certified. There's analytics that are run by the company Alexa Web Stats and Google Analytics. So they monitor the traffic. And I looked at it for the first time yesterday, and here we are, July 7th, and there's already been 800,000. But it's down 400,000 in the last 30 days. But I'm on track for a really good month. But now people seem to look at that as money, number one, which it should be. I know how much it's supposed to be generating and what it is. And, as far as advertising goes. And number two is, how come your social media doesn't reflect it? And it's just like, so then I find myself having to explain, it's just, I've really never been social media, except Facebook, honestly, because when Poker Pod Radio started, it was all about MySpace, if you can remember that. And that's how the show blew up, PokerPod Radio actually blew up on MySpace at the same time of, the poker boom. And I had been doing my show before it blew up and was one of the original podcasters. When I started doing it, I started investigating, what it was, what because iPods had just come out. I spoke to some people in Apple development, Apple media, way back then. I've never shared that before, but I was promoted on their downloads, and it became, then it started on iTunes, and that's why the show was named Poker Pod Radio, for podcasting. And then it just grew and developed, over time. And when MySpace went away, we started to do it more with Facebook. And, there's a PokerPod Radio page, which actually got verified, that check mark that everybody wants. And we had at one point, I think, 80,000 people on that page. I don't know what it is now, maybe 40, 50. But I actually took it down. It's not public anymore because I don't do the show. I've been asked to do it again, and it's something that I think about every once in a while. And then, I tried one with JJM Media Group, my media company, and it really didn't go well. I just didn't have time to start posting and doing all kinds of things. And then I have the personal account, which is always at 5,000 max. And, and that's been going on for a long, long time. And then I have the Jack McAdoo official, which is for this show, which I don't do a lot on. I think everything that I posted on Instagram would go there. I don't even know if that happens anymore. It just got to the point where it's just oversaturated and too much. But I was asked, well, how come your social media doesn't translate what your website does? And it's like, well, the website is where I want people to go. I want people to go there and read the blogs. You don't see the blogs on social media. I want people to go and listen to this show and the past shows. They can go to realtalkshow.com and even listen to more shows that aren't, that are from the past, archives. But it doesn't translate because I wasn't doing a lot on there. Like Instagram. I just really started doing Instagram 2 years ago. And it's crazy what I see with it. And it's one thing to be questioned about numbers on a website and then numbers on your, and I just have never made that switch and begged people to go watch, a reel or whatever. I've never done that. And I've always said it's not necessarily about the reach, but I'm learning, I guess it is. And, so to be real with everything, I am trying to build Instagram more and get the numbers up. Not for, just for a lot of reasons. I can reach more people with what I do. And then I was talking to another person yesterday who is one of the biggest in social media. I was blessed and, to be able to be introduced to this person. And I got a short phone call with them. And they told me what to do, be, niche specific and things like that. I'm not going to go into strategies, but it's, what do I do? And I think about that. And I have a podcast. It's like a 3-part thing. I have a podcast, and it used to be live streamed, when I was doing video, because a lot of people were doing that. And, we were one of the first to do that as well. And then in business, some things happened and COVID happened and things changed. Our lives changed. Everybody's life changed, and mine did too. So the studio wasn't there, and people remember my engineer, Thomas, and, he and I talked yesterday as well. And there's things that we lost because of it. The studio, and I can sit here right now and do the live stream, but it wouldn't be really engaging because I'm watching the computer, because there's a lot that goes on. There's audio, which kind of runs on itself in the background. So you're recording that. And then the video, which you see, is actually being recorded into the podcast. And when that's done, then it has to be, I don't edit. It's a straight run. There is no editing here. and then I convert that. Then I have to upload it to the site, and then it, the streams out to all the places like, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, Google Play, and iTunes, all of that. It goes from there. So there's a lot into it. So I do the podcasting, I told him, and I said, number 2 is I speak, and I want to speak more, globally. And I guess the main thing, the niche in all of it is I want to motivate people in the real way, the right way, and to let people know that we can recover from anything individually. We can overcome anything. We can go through some shit, but at the same time, we can come through it. And I was taking tools, and I talked to a very dear friend of mine last night, because I became a neurolinguistic programming practitioner, a master practitioner. It's basically a coach on another level. And I took Access Bars. So if you go to Access Consciousness, you can learn what that is. And I thought, well, wow, I'll become a practitioner. And she was telling me, no, I don't see you in that light, which was a kind of a shock to me, but that's why I love her so much, because she is a very dear friend and she won't bullshit me. And I thought, well, maybe I won't, especially where I live, where I reside. There's really not that here. You know what I mean? And yeah, there's the opportunity for it and everything else, but I'm too tied to what I do now. So they have become tools of modalities in my belt that when I do talk to people or do my shows, I can talk about different ways of how you can overcome. Because with my story, which some people know, and I'm not doing it in this show, but with my story of life and what happened, it's been 4 or 5 years now, but the comeback was insane. And there's some things that had happened along the way, and, humility and becoming, just totally humble and things. And you learn and you're able to look back at everything that happened, and you see the lessons that we never see while we're deep in it. So with reflection and different people that I've met and things that I've learned, different tools, from religious concepts to Kabbalah to Access Bars to NLP to just life and being around people, I've learned how to bring out the best of people while at the same time trying to maintain it for myself. What I talk about doing and explaining, I do it for myself. I don't bullshit. It's not a way to drive an income, to find a niche again, so to speak, and to just lure people in. I don't do that. There's a lot of speakers out there, quote unquote influencers out there that will do that. Some big names that, in my personal opinion, are bullshit. And then there's the ones that are really true to form that I would highly recommend. And that in times I would love to just reach their status, not as a celebrity, but status, to be able to reach people, as many people as I can, to let them know every single day through my show, in person, or on social media, that they matter and that they can overcome. And that is my message, and that is my niche. But again, my shows, and it was hard to decipher, my shows, I've had guests on that are I'm sorry about the microphone, it's just kind of moving around, from relationship specialists, celebrity matchmakers, to world-renowned psychologists, to media personalities, to professional athletes, to actors. I mean, I've had them all on the show. But we always talk about overcoming and possibility and what's out there. And so I wondered about that. Do I lose the message for my show? So again, I think about all these things, and questions brought up. What about your social media? And it's funny how we always go back to social media. And I've done shows about social media. And everyone, if we didn't have to do social media, it would be amazing. But that's where life is now. For instance, people will think they're influencers. That word, just influencers and creators. It's amazing. And everyone wants to be seen. But here in the United States, it's all we think about. We think about what's in the United States, and a lot of people can't go past the follower count. There's more out there, but you want to please your base. For instance, in 1970, 500 ads were seen by the average American per day. Today, it's around between 4,000 and 10,000 ads a day. And that means just driving, seeing a billboard, looking at a taxi, an Uber, social media, your phone, your email, your newspaper, magazine. You're bombarded. And this has led to us having shorter attention spans. It's legit. Ryan Holmes did that. If you want to know that information, check out Ryan Holmes. Go to his LinkedIn page. He's got the ad up there. Ad. He's got the piece up there that he wrote. And Ron Marshall as well. redcrowdmarketing.com. You can check out Ron Marshall's piece about that. And then on social media, everybody talks about being an influencer or a creator and everything else. But you're bombarded. An average business could upload up to 147,000 photos. We see 54,000 shared links. There's 317,000 updates on Facebook every single minute. There are 95 million posts shared on Instagram every single day. There are 1 billion hours of content watched on YouTube every single day. That is an insane amount of distraction for us. Think about that. 1 billion hours of content watched on YouTube. That's what we spend our time on, watching YouTube. 317,000 updates every minute on Facebook and more on Instagram. That's insane. People want that magic number of 1 million followers. And most of that is younger age brackets, I guess. They want to be the influencer. That word is just, it's insane. It's hurting people, actually. So when they come on and they say, you got your quote unquote influencer. Oh, I've got 1 million. Really? There's over 1 billion people. You're you know what I mean? Really? But yet it's also become a business. And that's where my conflict is. Because there's a lot of people, most people on Instagram, for instance, they're there to post pictures and things like that, right? And see what everyone else is doing. Maybe see what a celebrity's doing, a friend, an aunt, uncle, cousin, whatever. That's what most of it is. Here's a picture of my dog, and that's great. That's what it was originally for. Now, Instagram is more video related. They're actually, Mosseri, the CEO, came out and said they're transitioning away from photos to video. Photos will still be there, but you'll be seeing more video in your feed. But you'll also be seeing a lot more advertising. Because advertising, if you go to Instagram, just start scrolling on your feed, you would see an ad or a sponsored post usually every 15. Now they're every 3 to 4. Try it out. Just scroll. You'll see it. Because it's become this money-making thing. It's about sponsorships. Now they're adding shopping. TikTok is doing amazing, so they created Reels. And then there's the algorithm. The algorithm is catered toward quote unquote creators. Creators are just people that throw up videos. You and I are a creator because we post a video. But there are people doing it every single day. And yes, you can be monetized by it. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, so don't get me wrong. Don't take it wrong. I'm just saying that's what's happening. So you know. So for someone like me that tries to reach out and just be real, I like just regular social media. But now because of what I do, there's massive competition with the algorithm. The algorithm is not a person. It's not something that hates you. It's based on your content. And you have to have amazing freaking content because the attention span on Instagram is between 3 and 7 seconds. So you are competing with almost 95 million posts on Instagram every single day. Your little 3 to 7 seconds better be on point. And again, it's not just here in the US in your little group, it's worldwide. And people forget that. And it's gotten so bad with people wanting to be influencers and, these kids in school, especially, they buy the likes. They buy followers. When it actually, according to the algorithm, it hurts you. And they wonder, well, how come no one likes my stuff? Well, you ruined it. And then there's social media experts and this many hashtags and that, and you have to do this and you have to do that. And it's just like, no, you don't. Certain things you do, but a lot of it you don't. So it's become cutthroat in a sense. So I was asked, how come yours isn't big? And I said, I really haven't concentrated on it. I have talked to, strategists, brand strategists, social media brand strategists. I've hired a couple. One of them will be on my show, hopefully by the end of the month. He's based out of New Zealand. He's one of the top guys on his channel on YouTube. He will teach you how to make 10 grand a month, that kind of thing on Instagram. And everything is not as easy as it seems. So he was paid to come in and help me strategize, and tried a few things and it did work. And then it went off. I mean, having a brand on Instagram, it's a daily thing. It's a job. But a lot of people and I'm not really talking about everyone just wants to enjoy it for what it is. It's gotten to the point to where everything is shown is spectacular and beautiful. All these beautiful lives. I'll post some good things. I'll post photos of awards every once in a while, but I try to post funny stuff. And the majority of mine are quotes by myself that I have done or someone else. If I do a quote from someone else, I will put their name down. Jay Shetty took massive heat when he first started because he was taking someone else's quotes and saying they were his, putting his name underneath. He got blasted. He doesn't do it anymore. He doesn't have to. He doesn't even have to quote anything anymore. Jay basically has a team doing stuff for him. The only time when he does social media is when he goes on live. And when he goes on live, he's usually selling a book or, something like that. Yeah, so it's all changed. But I'll do quotes. I'll give someone credit for their quote, and I'll do memes. And that's another thing, because there's memes with art. There's memes with photo that you can get from Shutterstock, or you can create your own. I do a mixture of each. And it takes a while. So my day is like regimented. And if you follow my show or you follow me on social media, I'm up at 4. I'm in the gym at 5. And I'm in the gym till about 6:30. I come home and do my thing, meditations, cook, breakfast, shower, all that. And boom, memes are up by 9. And then you have to look at the analytics of what time to post. I can tell you what I use to post. Most of my posts are planned. I'll usually do them in one, I try to get as many done for the week, and I use a software that I do, to post them automatically and kind of go from there. But it's a job. And then I decide what I'm going to do for the show. Most people know that I was doing it 4 days a week. And that was with video when I was streaming live to Facebook. And I was talking to Thomas yesterday. We just, from what I see and everything, I just want to start doing 2. Maybe one with video, one without. But I've been doing what I said I was going to do. I said I was going to get away from video and just start doing regular podcasting, because that's what it is in its truest form. If you're doing video, that's a video cast. And the video cast that I would do was turned into the podcast. But before that, I was just straight out podcasting like I'm doing now. And I'm not interviewing anyone right now, which is becoming a lost art form. Because again, we were one of the original podcasters, and that was basically like being on the radio, being a radio host, not a DJ, a radio host, to where you could handle a show on your own, commercial free, for 2 to 4 hours. And I've always said, do that. That'll impress me, because you can interview all day long, as long as your interview skills are good. Some people vomit all over their guests. But that's what it's become. It's become this competition thing. And I was asked about it yesterday. And there are good friends of mine that will talk to each other about it. Well, Jack's got this and he said that, but his social media doesn't reflect the website, because it's 2 different beasts. It is 2 different beasts. Go to jackmcadoo.com. Look at what's on there. You can schedule a phone call with me. You can read blogs. I invite people to blog. I tell them, go there, and send me an email. You can go on there. There's a contact form, and I will read it. If you want to write a blog, you're not going to get paid or anything, but you will get recognition. I'll put your picture up if you want to, but you can send me blogs. So I take that from listeners and people that subscribe to my website. See, that's the other thing. You can subscribe to my website. And I have more subscribers on my website than I do on social media by a long shot. But I won't spam the subscribers and tell them, go follow me on social. I don't do that yet. And I'd say yet because I don't know. I haven't done that. But it's just a transition thing for me. And again, I'm talking on this show because I'm real, and that's where I am right now with everything. And that's why I appreciate each and every single one of you for making it who I am. Because a lot of people see me and know me for today and what's happening in my life today, but they don't know what built this show. They don't know what was going on in 2004 and 2005. You know what I mean? So it all stems from there. And then we have this fast-paced world that's moving right now. And then we have social media that everyone is clamoring for. And it just, damn. Elections are based on what's put on social media. And again, I'm watching Instagram change. It's not this place where you just put up pictures anymore. It is a business that Facebook owns. They own Instagram, in case you did not know. And it's just become this business. They're throwing shopping up there. I get stuff, because I have a business account with them. I'm assuming that most would get it. I get notifications through emails. I get notifications through direct messaging from Instagram asking me to do this. We can incentivize this, and, you can make money doing this if you just do this. And there's things that I'm looking at that I'm considering doing. But it is a business, because now, like I said, every 3 to 4 posts, you will see a sponsored post, which is basically someone buying advertising, or you will see an ad, and you will see a shitload of of fitness. I can't tell you I've lost track on the protein powders. Women, for some reason, are holding up Bang, and a lot of them aren't even sponsored by Bang. They're hoping that by showing a can of Bang, and showing them working out, that Bang is going to sponsor them, and that's not how it happens. But there's a lot of that from, especially in the fitness area. And then there's the cooking and, nutrition space and everything else. And people are clamoring for the sponsorship. Nothing wrong with it. Trust me. If a sponsor comes to me, I'll look at the deal. I'm dead serious. Nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing. But Instagram is focusing on that. Mosseri came out and said it. He's focusing on that. When he says creators, he wants the creators to make money through sponsorships and everything else. He said it. So it's becoming to this place where they want you to shop. I'm not shopping on Instagram. I never have. I'll go to the store. I'll go to Amazon or Etsy or something like that. I'm just being real. I have never shopped on Instagram. And I have never been influenced to buy a sports nutrition drink or a line of men's clothing or shavings, nothing like that. And I know, and if you are, is there anything wrong with that? No, it's just me. I'm just that type of guy. You know what I mean? I like to know what I'm buying, not because someone on a social media platform said, look at me and wearing this, and I want you to do this, and to get like this, you need to drink that. It's like, no, I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? But it's become that. It's become the shopper thing. It's become heavily video and everything else. And again, I am in this space to where I like using it to be in touch with friends. But at the same time, because I have a brand, which is me, I have to use it. It's that catch-22 thing, man. I have to. And I'm diving more and more into it and trying to figure things out. And I'm hesitant with, Facebook. It's just been around forever. It's kind of a transition from MySpace into Facebook, and I'll go on and do all kinds of stuff and act crazy on Facebook. That's just me. Instagram's a little different, and, it's a different age bracket as well. I have the analytics to see who looks at my stuff. Facebook is an older audience now, and I've said it before. I was in New York speaking, and we asked everyone in the room who uses Instagram, and virtually every hand shot up, said who used Facebook. And I believe there was like 9 or 10 people. That was it. But the thing is, the age group of those people, they weren't young. I'm not old. You know what I'm saying? But it's a different demographic. So for me, when I look at my Instagram, I know who watches my stuff. I look at the analytics. My largest audience, it's crazy. On Facebook, it's almost split right down the middle with men and women. On Instagram, it's mostly men. I mean, I looked at it today before doing the show. It was 64% men, 36% women. And it's like, whoa, that shifted. And for me, it's like, okay, I guess that's good. I like it 50-50. The age group was largest, 25 to 35. That is my largest audience. And then after that, it was, I think, the 35-45 range, and then it began, yeah. There's not many teens that listen to my stuff or watch, my content on Instagram. I can see which posts have done well, and I was looking at that, and it's kind of a mix. I know what my top 10 are that had the most views and the most comments, the most engagement. And then, like I said, these kids, not all kids, adults do it too, trust. They'll go out and buy follows, comments, and likes. But that hurts your engagement because you're buying BS, people that aren't really real. So there's no engagement. And for me, I'll put up, there's some posts I will put up and there'll be, hundreds of likes. And there'll be some where there's like 10. It's real. But for me, I look at that as like, who cares? Because there's a lot of people that are scrolling that don't do shit. It's the engagement and the reach. And that's what I look at, is more the reach. And that reach is number one, because each of my posts get thousands as far as reach goes. So I'm reaching a lot of people and they're looking at it. It's the impressions on their page. So they're seeing it. People are seeing it. They're just not taking action. And that's the engagement. And once they're engaged in it, then some of them may comment, some, may like, that kind of thing. So it's an analytical thing. And I was talking to the expert and yesterday, and they were telling me about the analytics and everything else. Because again, I've hired social media strategists and everything else, and I've heard different things. Everyone has their own thing. The gentleman that I'm going to have on the show is one of the best, I believe, as far as strategy goes. And they tell me different things, so we try to hone everything in. I load it up in a spreadsheet and I look at it. So that's where I'm at. So it's a game almost. And again, it's not a person. The algorithm for Instagram is not a person. It's a AI that develops itself. It takes everything into consideration that you do, what you look at, how long you're looking at something, whose profiles, when you scroll through a story, whose story do you stay on most, because that's what they're going to show you first, and so on. It used to be in chronological order, on your feed. It's not like that anymore, because they don't want you to just stay on certain things. They want you to get out and explore so they can show you more ads. And that's what it is. That's what it has become. It's big business. And for me, it's caused some conflict. Again, I'm real. So that's where I am with it. And there's things that I want to do, and it's just like, what do I do? Because I'm this guy that does podcasts. I'm an OG podcaster, for real. And, I have a message, and my message, again, is to motivate and to lift and to help you succeed in life. And I have these tools that I can help you with. And, I can do one-on-one consultations with you, the whole bit. But here it is, the messaging. Again, my website does well. I can sit back and just do that. But there's a whole nother audience on Instagram. And again, we look at it, and it's just everything is perfect. The most beautiful vacations, and the women that are in there with the perfect bodies, the transformations, and the guys that are flexing, and the models, and the cars, and the watches. And, there's some out there that, they call themselves billionaire something or trillionaire something. And it's just, really, if you want to be a billionaire, do this. A few billionaires that I know don't do any of that. I'm just, honestly, millionaire this. No, they're not doing that either. And it's crazy. And then there's the bad influence. If you do make some money, go out and buy, $1 million worth of jewelry with diamonds and everything else, just get blinged out. Really? No, that doesn't impress me at all. I'm impressed if you go and invest that money into some great stocks and annuities and purchase some real estate and things like that. That impresses me. Your blinged out chains, and that doesn't do anything for me. And I wish I could talk to, coming from a music background, talk to some of these guys. That's why most of them end up broke in the end. Well, I thought he was worth $150 million. Yeah, his chains. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Again, I've done shows on social media, but that's what we're bombarded with. And then I look at it, and then, like anyone else that does what I do, it's just, how do you get over that hump? And what is the correct content without losing my message, my niche, because I can't change. I'm not going to bullshit anyone. I'm not going to fake. I've always said it too. I've done podcasting for all these years, and I've never been fake. I've never done the radio voice or anything, because you see people doing that too. I learned yesterday, there was a show that I admire. I'm not going to mention any names. I kind of admire it. I think I admire the technology and the set more than the man that does the show. I'm just impressed with the technology side and how the set looks. Like, damn, looks really good. I just found out yesterday this guy will sit here and do 10 to 15 takes just on an intro. I don't do that. We hit record and I'm talking. And if I screw up, hey, that's part of the show. Why am I going to bullshit you? We're not perfect. I can't come out with a squeaky clean show, even with video. I could never do that. But I learned that yesterday. It's like, really? Because like I said, even when Thomas was with me, and he still is, he's just not doing the show right now. The only time we would have to start over is when there was a massive technical screw up. That was it. I'd be talking and the mic wasn't, the software wasn't turned on to record, or I was talking and the mic wasn't hot, or we were talking and the video wasn't streaming. That was it. But I didn't introduce Laura Fredericks correctly. My former, she was on every Thursday. She was my other co-host. We're talking about bringing her back too. But yeah, I just really, you're that worried about what people on social media think? And then there's YouTube. I have shot so many videos from YouTube and I just didn't put them up. I have to be real. And like I said, YouTube is insane. 1 billion hours. 1 billion hours on YouTube. That's crazy. 1 billion hours a day. That's crazy. And the amount of videos being uploaded to YouTube was over 1 million a minute or something like that. I forgot what it was. It was an insane number. So there's competition there, even with YouTube. It's based on content. It's based on length. What the analytics show of the watch time per, even to the thumbnail. You could have a crappy thumbnail and an excellent video, but the video won't get the likes or the watch or the subscribers because the thumbnail looks like shit. But the thing is, the opposite is also true. You can have an amazing thumbnail and crappy content, and they're not coming back. People are like that. So that's where I'm at. I'm in this space to where the podcast is coming back 2 times a week. Again, I talked to Thomas about, doing a live video as well, the streaming. That will be coming back hopefully by the end of the month. And and then Instagram, I'm going to concentrate on there, man. And for me, it's a jump. I shouldn't worry about it. It's just a jump. It's different for me, and it's just like, trying something new for the first time, falling, getting back up, falling, getting back up. There's a lot. I get judged for a lot of things that I do, so it's going to be a little trial and error, and I'll figure it out. And if you're listening to this and you don't follow me on Instagram, I do appreciate the follow. I really do. And again, apparently I need it. So, and I've always said it. It's all about me reaching as many people as I can, just to uplift, inspire, crack a joke or two to hope that you smile or laugh, to help you in your recovery from anything, from traumas, from relationship trauma, from gambling issues, from different addictions, and just to be motivated daily and to just guide you on the right direction so you don't need anybody. Because that is the other thing. I love what I do. I enjoy what I do. But it's crazy that, speaking of Instagram, virtually every single meme is a motivating meme. And I thought about that in silence the other day, just a couple days ago. Are we, as a global community, that messed up to where everyone is lifting? You know what I mean? Is the world hurting that much? And that needs to be fixed. Too much. I could make a hard right now and get into like politics. But that's how fast my brain works, and I'm not. Or I could take a hard left, and talk about what's happening to us as a society. But yeah, it's crazy. There's so many people. I've joked about it, and blessed them for doing it. But I've always joked about 19, 20-year-old, 18-year-old life coaches. I appreciate what you're doing and you mean well. And maybe your niche, as an 18, 19, 20-year-old life coach is to talk to teens for what you have been through. Not trying to be famous and call yourself a coach. Because I'm going to listen to someone that's, my age. And, there's some great ones out there. Jay Shetty, to me, is one of the best. And if not the. Tony Robbins used to be absolutely amazing. I think his son Jarek has topped his dad because, with all due respect to Tony, he's a good man. It's become more of a sales machine. Buy this. If you, there's nothing wrong with following someone and listening to them and engaging with them and taking a course from them or buying content from them. There's nothing wrong with that. Should I do it? But if it's the same thing they're putting out just with a different title and a different spin, but basically the same, they're just selling you. That means you never got it right the first time. So they're going to sell it to you, repackage it and sell it to you under another name. So why are you buying it again? They're selling you. If you can buy a product, a course, or service from someone and it worked, that's it, man. Good. Stay with them. I'm serious. Because they helped your life in some way. They taught you something. So if they come out with something new and it worked, yes, be there for them because they're there for you. They're not repackaging. Wash, rinse, repeat. I did a show about that and I got heat from two very well-known motivation speakers. I basically told them, kiss my ass. I'm real. I just want the best. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just, trying to revamp the show a little bit, getting back to normal. I say that a few times. I've done it a few times, but you get into these funks. I get into it too. I lift, as I said in the beginning, I lift, I motivate, I do everything. I study, get tools under my belt so I can help you and lift you. But there's days I have my own funks too. There's no one perfect. I don't walk in this glamorous lifestyle today or anything like that. I live to be happy, and that's really the main thing. I have wish, wants, desires. I look to the universe for those things. I manifest those things. There's some things I need to fix in my own life, there's some limiting beliefs I have that I need to work through as well. We all have them. I have the tools to get through them. I should know better more than anyone. And so I'm no saint, and that's where I'm at. So that's what's happening, man. So that's what I'm going to start doing. I ask for your support in the transition. It's like I'm going to the moon. Holy shit. He's like, what the hell's happening? He needs our support. It's freaking Instagram. No, man, I'm on there now. Go check it out. Jack.McAdoo. I've been there. My website's jackmcadoo.com. MCADOO. If you misspell it, it'll probably still take you there. But yeah, you can see the content. You can see the blogs there. You can see past shows there. You can book an appointment with me there. You can read about what I do, the NLP, the access bars. It's all there for you. If you want to blog, if you've got something to say, I don't care if you want to talk about puppies. If you want to write about turtles, send it to me. I mean, I have an audience that big. They're gonna read it. And out of the whole website, those are the two biggest pages, the blog page and the podcast page. So yes, and on Instagram, yes, it's jack.mcadoo. And you'll see what I put up. I'm changing that around. Before it was checkerboard. I was told, do this, do the checkerboard thing. So you would see these posts where I would do my quotes in black with a blue trim, and then I would put up a meme, and it was the checkerboard. It's like, man, I got to get the, and the numbers were always good, and then they started dropping, and I started looking at the analytics. And this is where I found out I really need to get the shit together on Instagram because the numbers just drop like a rock. Because there's some things you do, and the algorithm picks up on it, and they don't like it. If you post too much, if you put the wrong hashtag, if you do this, you do that, the algorithm doesn't think that's kosher. So they punish you. So, yeah. Anyway, man, I appreciate every single one of you. I hope that you have an absolutely amazing day. If this is your first time listening to you, I thank you so very much. And I do hope that you go to the website and subscribe. so I can keep in touch with you that way. There's a comment section, contact me. I do read those. So please, if you have anything to say, good, bad, ugly, extreme, whatever, if you need help with something, reach out. Let me know. Go to my social media. DM me. I do my best, my very best to reach out. I'm blessed every single day. I'll either get one of those things, an email, a text, a DM. I'll get something from somebody several times a day, actually. Just, saying that something worked for their life and they're happy about that. And that is my purpose. That is why I'm here. So I'm hoping, when I say I hope that you have an absolutely amazing day, I mean it. I want you to have that. I have nothing to sell to you today. I might tomorrow. I'm being honest. I have to make a living just like everyone else. And there was a time when I was ashamed to say that. But now I'm going to tell you, I could come out with a book tomorrow and say, look, I need you to buy this book. I'd really love for you to, products. Instagram. I will say this. No, I won't. There is, I won't say their name because I'm being honest. They don't pay for it here, so I'm not going to say it. But on my Instagram, I am an ambassador for a company. I'm being real. I'm a contracted ambassador for a company, and I talk about them once a week. But I won't say it here. It's a different medium. Man, I hope you guys have an amazing, fantastic day, that you manifest everything that your heart desires. I hope that you're not looking just to manifest money, a new house, a new car. Man, manifest a fantastic relationship. Manifest a beautiful heart for yourself. Manifest kindness and love and those things. Manifest those beautiful things. Manifest moments and memories. It doesn't always have to be material. So I want to just leave that with you. And I thank each and every one of you all the time. Thank you so much. Peace, everybody, and aloha.